I should have known something was wrong when Jessica hugged me at the door. We weren't friends in high school. We barely spoke. But there she was, acting like we were old best friends, insisting I come inside. That hug, that smile. If I'd known what she'd been planning for the last 10 years, I would have turned around and never looked back. Before I continue, make sure you're subscribed, because this story takes a dark turn you won't see coming. Trust me, you'll want to hear how this ends. 10 years ago, I was nobody at Lincoln High. Skinny kid, braces, sat in the back of every class and ate lunch in the library. Emma Richardson was everything I wasn't. Homecoming queen, captain of the volleyball team, and completely out of my league. I never told her how I felt. What was the point? Girls like Emma didn't notice guys like me. But 10 years changes people. I left that small town, built a career in software development, hit the gym, got my life together. When the reunion invitation came, I almost threw it away. But something made me think. Maybe it was time to show them I'd made something of myself. Biggest mistake of my life. The reunion was exactly what you'd expect. Same cliques, same shallow conversations. I was about to leave early when I saw her. Emma. But she wasn't the confident queen bee I remembered. She looked tired, alone. I don't know what made me walk over. Maybe it was courage. Maybe it was stupidity. Wait, you're David, from chemistry class? She actually remembered me. We started talking, and for the first time in 10 years, I forgot about high school hierarchies. That's when I noticed Jessica watching us. She had this look on her face I couldn't read. But when I caught her eye, she smiled and gave me a thumbs up. Emma and I talked for 3 hours. She told me about her divorce, her struggling career, how she'd felt trapped in this town. I told her about my life in Seattle. When we said goodbye, she hugged me, and I felt something I hadn't felt since high school. Hope. We started texting that night, then calling, then video chatting every evening. I drove back to visit her the next weekend, then the weekend after that. Within a month, we were dating. It felt like fate, like the universe was correcting a mistake from high school. The girl who never saw me back then was now falling for who I'd become. Jessica was always around. She was Emma's best friend after all. She'd join our dinners, text Emma constantly, even showed up at my apartment once, just passing through town. Sometimes I'd catch her staring at me with this intensity that made me uncomfortable. But Emma said Jessica was just protective after the divorce. After 6 months, I knew Emma was it. I started looking at rings. I was planning to propose at Christmas. Then Emma called me at 2 a.m., crying so hard I could barely understand her. Jessica told me everything. How could you? How could you do that to her and never tell me? I had no idea what she was talking about. Emma wouldn't explain. She just kept saying, Jessica showed me the messages, and I can't believe I trusted you. I called Jessica immediately. She answered on the first ring, like she'd been waiting. I'm sorry, David, but Emma needed to know the truth about senior year, about what you did to me at that party. There was no party. I barely went to any parties in high school, and I certainly never did anything to Jessica. We hardly knew each other, but Jessica had evidence, screenshots of text messages I never sent, testimonies from people who remembered an incident that never happened. I spent 2 weeks trying to prove my innocence, reaching out to old classmates, finding alibis for nights I was supposedly at parties I never attended. That's when an old classmate, Mike, sent me a message that changed everything. He'd found Jessica's old live journal from senior year, page after page about me, how she'd had a crush on me since sophomore year, how she was devastated when I never noticed her, how she'd planned to ask me to prom, but I'd left early that day, how she convinced herself we were meant to be. And then, the most chilling part, posts from 6 months before the reunion about how she'd been talking to Emma online, slowly planting seeds, suggesting Emma go to the reunion, mentioning me. She'd orchestrated everything, the reconnection, the romance, all of it, just so she could destroy it, because if she couldn't have me, Emma couldn't either. I sent everything to Emma, the live journal, the posts, the proof that Jessica had fabricated it all. She never responded. She'd already blocked me. Jessica had spent 10 years building Emma's trust. I'd only had 6 months, but the damage was done. Jessica had already told everyone in our hometown. My name was Mud. People I hadn't spoken to in a decade suddenly had opinions about who I was. I moved on. Had to. But I learned something that night. Sometimes the danger isn't in the people who hated you in high school. It's in the ones you never noticed, the ones who noticed you. That reunion didn't just ruin my life. It revealed that someone had been waiting 10 years to do it, and I never saw it coming. If this story resonated with you, leave a like and subscribe for more real stories. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from. See you next time.